I'm Amy, this is Living in Chrysalis, and I have my own twist on the Sephora VIB sale videos. So let's get to it. Welcome or welcome back. Due to the fact that I am recovering from Achilles tendon surgery, I am going to be out of work for the foreseeable future. And this is what my life looks like right now. Yeah. So I'm not going to have any money to spend at the VIB sale. Now, I've never been VIB Rouge. For the last several years in a row, I have been made VIB every year, which is handy because I can still take advantage of some of the discounts and some of the benefits, but I've never been Rouge. I don't know when or if that's ever going to happen. So when I calculate the sale prices, I will be calculating them for my 15% discount. Just throwing that out there. And of course, because the Rouge get an extra week to shop ahead of us, they get to start on April 26th, which is this Friday. I don't get to start until May 2nd. Not that I'm going to start. I can't. Mom, I ain't got no coin. So annoying. Maybe someday. Not necessarily that I want to drop $1,000 every year, but yeah, if the channel grows enough where that becomes feasible and prudent and affordable, then I'm down with it. So with that in mind, please subscribe. And of course, hit me out to all your friends, so then I can support my husband and son in the style to which they would like to become accustomed. Until then, let's do a little window shopping, shall we? All right, so I have been eyeballing so many Marc Jacobs products. Hard. Oh, so hard. Okay. So some things I've been looking at for quite some time was obviously the Stiletto palette. That is $49.50 US as their normal price. And I mean, look at it. Of course I'm attracted to it. It's silver, it's sleek, it's small, so it'll fit into my storage really well. Those colors are fantastic. It actually might kind of resemble my Smashbox Punked palette a bit. But unfortunately, my Sephora and JCPenney does not have Marc Jacobs eyeshadows in the store. You know, they don't have these palettes for me to actually do a real comparison. So I would have to actually order online and then compare it. And of course, that's not going to be happening, but I still want it. Look at it. Look at that packaging. Oh boy. Actually, you know what the packaging reminds me of? I just thought it. It reminds me of the little pods that the souls used in The Host. See what I mean? Sleek and shiny and oh. Another one that I have been looking at for such a long time, it seems, and well, that's also limited edition. It's been there for a while. But I've been looking at this for such a long time. I would really love to try this palette. The colors are appealing to me so much. And the third one that's caught my eye is the Frost palette. There's one shade in there that kind of, that very shiny one I'm not entirely sure about, but who knows? I've been making all kinds of discoveries. And normally I'm not a an animal print kind of girl, or if I do, it's very little bit, but even this package is so pretty. And what I really like about these is, okay, you know how when you look in Tati's background, I don't know if she does it anymore because I haven't seen her lately, but in her background, she had that shelf, and then she had all those Marc Jacobs black eyeliner palettes lined up in a row. And it looks very nice visually, but it would be really annoying to try. As I was looking through, going on to the Sephora app to start looking through and compiling my list for this video, I saw something that looked fan-freaking-tastic. It will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine. Not right away, obviously, because I'm freaking inconveniently broke, but this is the Accomplice Instant Blurring Beauty Powder by Marc Jacobs. Hola, yes. A, the packaging is freaking fantastic. B, blurring powder, yes please. Blurring powder in a form that is easy for me to, take with me in life and look bougie while doing it. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Uh-huh. Bring it on. And I really love neat gadgets, and the way that the brush for this stores right into the lid. This is so cool. I want this so much. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Now that is at $49. So with my VIB discount, if I were to get it at the sale, it would be $41.65. Is that high for what's essentially going to be a touch-up powder? Yes. Yes, it is. Do I care? I do not. I do not. Unless that powder is total trash, it is worth it to me. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it matches something else I've had my eye on for some time. So you remember how I was just saying that identical lipsticks kind of annoy me because lipstick containers rather annoy me because it makes it difficult to tell what you're grabbing? Now, if I lost all of my lipsticks tomorrow, please no, please no, please no, please no, I would be seriously tempted by this. The Hourglass refillable lipstick. Now a lipstick with the container, with the refillable container, is $36. Look how sleek and elegant and freaking gorgeous that is. And the slim lipstick is actually quite nice. My lips are reasonably full, but they're not, speaking of reasonable, let's put a little more on here, but they're not so thick that this slim kind of lipstick wouldn't be a good idea for me. So yeah, I could see that. And then the refills are $22 each. So I could envision myself having one or two of the gold things, the gold cases, and then a bunch of the refills, ready to pop in and out. But then I started taking a closer look at the refills. Not only are they $22 a piece, yeah, exactly. But if you look at them, doesn't that look like it could be used all on its own? Now, I haven't done the math with words, with ounces and price and all that. It's Hourglass. It's expensive. It's expensive. I know it's expensive. We're just moving on. So for some odd reason, I have been really eyeballing the Natasha Denona Safari palette. It's an all matte palette, And the colors are so unusual. Most of them unusual even for me. And I don't know if that's what's attracting me, what's puzzling me. I just don't know. I don't know what to think, but I keep looking at it. It's $129. If I bought it at the sale, it'd be $109.65. Yeah, I don't know. It's still a lot of money to pay for a palette, especially with the notoriously short shelf life of Natasha Denona. But everybody and their sister talks about how wonderful her eyeshadows are. So what do we do? I don't know. I really wish I could see this in my local Sephora and JCPenney, but I can't. At least I couldn't before my surgery. I don't know now. Who knows? Also, I've been eyeballing the Natasha Denona Eyeshadow Palette 10. Yeah, it doesn't really have a name, but when you look at it, it kind of almost gives me vibes of the old Urban Decay Smoked palette. The one in that little zipper pouch, as far as some of the shades and that sort of thing. But this one's $95. Now with my 15% discount, that would come to $80.75, which is, better, but that's still a lot of money for something I've never seen in person. Of course, what am I talking about? These Marc Jacobs palettes that I'm drooling over are, what, 7 shades each? But I don't know. I just need to have much more money than I really do. And the final thing that I would be putting a hard eye on, and it is set to drop into Sephora stores on May 2nd, which is not so coincidentally the date that I could engage in the sale, is the Urban Decay Game of Thrones collection. Not all of it, but parts of it. If I'm able to physically handle it, I would like to go into the store and look at the lipsticks. I love the Urban Decay special packaging lipsticks. I have a bunch of them. And actually, it was my Urban Decay cherry lipstick that pushed me into VIB for this year. That was my final purchase. Okay, so then, in addition to the lipsticks, which I very much want to look at, is the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. Now, I know I already, kind of side-eyed and anti-hauled it, and I'm still kind of on the fence. It's $65. Yeah, so if I bought it at the sale, it would be $55.25, which seems like a lot for an Urban Decay palette. Although, now that I think of it, aren't some of the Naked palettes like $52 or $54 normal price? The only Urban Decay palette I own is the Naked Reloaded, and that was $44. So, I did watch a couple of videos discussing it. Mel Thompson, of course, who is not a Game of Thrones fan, and it was kind of hilarious to watch her mispronounce some of the names. She even did that elegantly. I just need to accept that some of us are not as good as others in some ways. All right, it is okay. I'm just a dork with a YouTube channel. So, Mel Thompson gave it kind of a mixed review, and I also saw Nerdy Girl Makeup do it. And she did some fantastic looks. If you have not seen that video, go. After you're done watching my video, but there's her name. So go watch her looks with us. wow. Holy moly. Yes, please. Yes. And some of her looks is like, oh, that's so like early 90s. Gosh, me. Yeah. But okay. I think we all know why the high price. It's, it's the same idea as the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. However, I will say that the colors in the Alice palette were more interesting, and I didn't buy it because I just wasn't doing that then. But yeah, the Alice colors were much more interesting than the colors in this palette, but it is still quite nice. Is it tempting me? Yes. Why? Because the pop-up throne. I mean, let's face it. That's really, yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to retouch on the subject of the brushes. Be still. My shriveled and sad black little heart. So when Nerdy Girl Makeup was discussing them, she was remarking on how detailed the pommels on these little brushes really are. And that made me kind of just rethink my salty stance on them. But I do still wish that the shape on the other end toward the brush end were more similar to the sword points rather than actually coming out. Still feeling that. Do I still kind of want them? Yes. But then here's the problem is how do I store them? Because, okay, I'm buying them mostly. I mean, yeah, I know Urban Decay brushes are pretty decent. Yeah, yada, yada. But then if I store them like I store the rest of my brushes, the pommels are going to be unseen in the bottom of, whatever cup or cup-like thing I'm using. Like my storage for my best brushes is this. So either we're not going to see the pommel or the brush end is going to be down, which isn't really very good for them. So how do I deal with that? What do I do with that? Unless I just leave them lying like just lying across my vanity looking all casual and sword-like until you get to the fat brush end. I don't know, but they're so cute. I don't know. I'm suffering. But the brushes are $28 each. Truthfully, if I were to only buy one, it would be Long Claw. Yeah. I mean, needle's cool, but come on. Long Claw? Yeah, of course. The pommel is fantastic. But the brushes are $28. With my sale, the 15% discount, they would be $23.80 a piece. Now, I might have a hard time not buying Long Claw, even with the storage difficulties. Might have to do it. I'm not sure. Needle is good, but I really wish Needle were a fine detail brush rather than what it is. I think it would have, served the brush so much better. Thank you so much for listening to me whinge about what I can't afford. And I will hopefully see you very soon. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Thanks. Let's make YouTube pay for my makeup. Come on, hook girl up.